like 18 people too. We were actually like up there pretty good too.
God damn it. Okay, sorry guys. I guess we can't do that anymore. That was so much fun. Oh well, whatever.
It's like we only allowed 10 minutes worth of that, not 10 and a half.
Okay, well, we won't do that.
Now everybody's gone.
I know, everyone peace out. They're like, screw these guys. We got suspended because of the video. Sorry.
Sorry, I went down a rabbit hole of film clips.
Oh, anyway, that was funny. Sorry, y'all. We're back. Yeah, Jizzy's
2 shows in one day.
We're so good that we did 2 shows in one day. Anyway, yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Jason and I are going to be back on the show, or back to our regularly scheduled program. And yeah, we got suspended because I was playing what you may call it, like clips of like actual whatever, and that's fine, my bad. I'll never do that again, but that was way too much fun, man. Anyway, I think you can only do it for like 40 seconds. I think that's the strike one, man. I think that's the rule. You can only do it like for a certain amount of time, and then they'll like kick you out. So, but anyway, do you remember the first time? And then bye-bye. I know, seriously. Do you remember the first day, like, I messed up and I didn't really understand StreamYard, and I cut our broadcast, and luckily people came back. But anyway, yeah. No, that was like fun, man. Maybe we can get away with like a 30-second clip and then just like move on or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, we had a good start. Now I'm like thrown off a little bit. But so our show today is a little bit about kind of what, and Jason was watching the show on Thursday. I'm not gonna dude. Wade's like, just try it. I'll try it on the next show. But yeah, that was pretty funny, man. I hope you guys liked like kind of just BSing about like random stuff. Obviously, like we date ourselves as far as our age and all that, but that was pretty funny. So anyway, yeah, Jason and we talked about just comic books and kind of the toughness right now for the market in general on the radar podcast. Everyone on this show right now, I'm sure that you guys watch it, but we were kind of having a conversation backstage, and like, man, it is tough to speculate. We felt there were more like flippers than there are readers, and like people actually enjoying the MCU, DCU, independent, all this stuff. And it's really hard to get into a property because sellers don't want to sell because they believe of B, C, D, E, F characters, worth $180. And hey, man, I appreciate you, dog. Watch this show, not the other one, because we got kicked off that one.
The other one's fun, but it'll be short.
Yeah,
if it even shows, they probably just delete the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
They're probably just like, oh well, yeah, these guys pretty much just like copyright infringe the entire time.
No, dude. They left it. It's just 14 minutes long. But
sweet.
Yeah. No, but we were just, like, and we're a very segmented kind of area of like comics, but I feel like just you don't really have to be part of a huge community, right? Like Whatnot, I don't go on Whatnot as often as I used to. I just don't find any deals, and like I feel like, yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit later. I just feel like the normal comic collector right now, it's tough for you to, pay for the hobby because there's so many characters to like invest in. So you're spread out way too far out. And then you have, hey, what's going on, Cody? And I think what we were talking about is I don't want to have like 50 million different like comic books of like lame characters. And then even the ones that like a Kamala Khan, for example, like that do pretty well on the show. The show gets pretty good reviews. It's a different generation, so it doesn't really speak to me, but I think she's a great actress, honestly. But I don't want her second appearance. I don't want to deal with it. Or I don't want to, yeah. Hold on a second. Sorry, someone's asked me if we're still banned. Yeah, thanks, man, and thanks to everybody for coming back to our show. I'm still going to do a giveaway. We had 18 people live, now we're down to 6, but I do appreciate everybody coming back. No, but so basically what I was saying, yeah, just I don't know, like I don't think that it's obviously not a very easy market to invest in. I think buyers are being a little bit more just with the economy and just with the state of the market and all that. I think people are just a little bit more careful in what they invest in. And so but this past couple of weeks, there's been a lot of exciting news, right? Jason?
Yes.
Oh,
that's why I was nodding.
Sorry. Do you want to?
I was like, I thought you froze for a second. I was like, what just happened? It's like, did
I get banned? I'm probably the one getting banned. No, but like, I mean, you suggested, like, I was like, hey, Jason, what do you want to talk about this week? There's just so much stuff to talk about. And Jason was like, oh man, all these cool little, like, you know, whatchamacallit, all these cool trailers came out, announcements in the past like 2 weeks. And we haven't really had any, like, I mean, Shazam came out, John Wick, that's not really comic book related, but Super Mario Brothers came out and that was pretty successful. But as far as specific comic book stuff, nothing's really come out. We're kind of in this lull period. So obviously all these announcements are coming up, and, like, you know, the summer season's coming out too. So Jason, what made you think of, like, wanting to do this show in particular today?
Well, I kind of most of the stuff that I'd seen, and like a lot of it's like for my own knowledge too, because like I was telling you, some of the trailers that had come out, in particular the Marvels and Secret Invasion, like I'm not too familiar with those books and those stories, so like it was more of like a wanting to delve deeper into, more or less like I wanted to kind of like learn more about those types of things, as well as just kind of see where things go, because like even the sales of certain stuff have been kind of like up and down here and there, like surprising things, even though like some of the storylines they're saying are going to be changed for bits and parts of things. So it was just kind of a general like want.
I see. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I think why is my mouse moving? Oh, I just think that I'm definitely being a little bit more picky on like what I'm buying. I'm basically took my whole portfolio and I'm trying to condense it, but I chose a bunch of the trailers that you know we talked about and what you were kind of alluding to, and I made some slides today to kind of look at like a few comic books and first appearances, or just major minor characters, whatever you want to call it, in that particular segment, and just want to talk about them today. So again, I apologize everybody for the mess up there. I did not think we were gonna. I knew that I thought they would like ban our show like later on. I didn't think they would, like, straight up.
The weird thing is like those clips had to like pass through like authentications and channels to like get put on there for you to be able to like pull it up and watch it.
I mean, they probably we don't have licensing though to like show it. That's the problem. But I mean, everybody wins if I show a clip. I mean, they're getting paid too. But anyway, YouTube's like, shut up, just do your stupid show.
Yeah, there's somebody that's watching all this like that has way too much time on their hands.
Yeah, or they probably make they probably make $130 a year doing that. But,
yeah, it's like, oh, sorry, nope, you hit your Karate Kid quota for the week. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, the overlords. Oh, what do we get canceled for? So dude, so early, so the video is on like the other one. It wasn't anything harmful. We were just looking at old Bloodsport and Karate Kid clips and just doing the commentary. And dude, that was like the most 15 minutes of fun I've had on Sunday in like forever, dude. It was just pretty funny. But hey, what's going on, Ralph? Ralph's back on our show on Thursdays. I know everyone in the chat is watching our OTR show, but if everyone could just click like, subscribe, all that good stuff on this show to get kind of the algorithm out so people can come in and get this good information that we're putting out there. I really appreciate it. And I know Jason would too. So I know Van Damme, dude, like he looked cut, man. Like he was like all tan and like anyway, but he probably did. He probably did. Yeah, that was freaking hilarious, dude. But we'll stop talking about drama.
Yeah, they're gonna like shut us down for talking about a movie clip now.
I know.
Describing it scene for scene. Like, I wonder if you would get copyright infringement for that if I just sat here and like just described an entire movie. Like if I just
probably
like,
not
walked you through it.
It's the clip. It's definitely like we're using that to like try and monetize like our stuff or whatever. So, yeah. And if you guys, hey man, it was horrible. What are you talking about? It was dumb commentary. Oh, you mean it was like okay, like yeah, it's just like the fact that we used the like video is what we got in trouble for. It wasn't so much what we said about the video. I mean, me and Jason were laughing half the time anyway, so it wasn't like we were really saying anything. And if you guys see Ultra Maximus, Jason knows this, like I don't necessarily hate FOC. I just hate shows that say buy these 10, 15, whatever books, you're guaranteed to make money, and then whoever is doing that show is like flipping them a week later. I hate that. I don't think that's what helps the community. Ultra does not. He just puts out like, hey, these are here are the covers for this particular, character coming out, or this cover. I think it's really good. I think it's a cool cover, yada yada. He doesn't say whether to buy or not, but he has, if you're just looking for a good, thorough FOC show, follow him, subscribe, all that good stuff to him. I will talk about Ultra ad nauseum until Jason tells me to shut up about him. So, and yes, we did show them too long. Economics and Comics. I've watched his shows. He's pretty good too. So, I don't know if he has FOC shows, but I know he does a really good job in the market too. So, thanks, Wade. I appreciate you. So yeah, so kind of what I was alluding to earlier, the comic market is forever changing and rapidly. The market is changing too. The market is either getting smarter or cold. I think it's getting smarter. I think people like myself, not so much Jason, he's not listening, are either getting more picky or just a little bit smarter, like not really chasing FOMO specifically, but I don't know, man. Now that you're more into buying comics and stuff, and of course, man, it's all like true, man. You're the bomb. But yeah, what have you kind of pivoted? Like you're kind of purchasing FOMO, MCU trailer, like kind of purchases, I guess.
Yes. I basically like I have gone, or at least like the stuff that I'm buying is more Silver Age stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
More so than anything else. Like, I mean, like I was one of the people that, or I guess few people that didn't necessarily get in on the Spider Boy hype. Mm-hmm. I was just kind of like, it's like it wasn't a character that really interested me. Like I saw it, I had the opportunities to get it, but I didn't. It's like, would I have liked to have bought that at like $5 and flipped it for 50? Sure, because that would help me get to my end goal of buying the books that I truly want. But it's like I'm not too worried about it anymore. Like if I happen to luck out with something, cool. If not, like, because it's all all that money is just going back into me building up the collection of books that I like want to have and keep. So
yeah, and like I'll be honest, I'm more of like I like the market kind of decide. Like when I have an eBay sale, I start at $1 usually, or unless I don't want to sell it, like I'll start a little bit higher. But I bought 4 copies of Spider-Boy 6 or 7, and I would say the only reason I did is because I was actually reading. I actually kind of like the series because they introduced one of my favorite villains of all time, or not all time, but one of my when I got back into comics in the early 2000s. Straczynski put out a pretty good Amazing Spider-Man run, and like I really enjoyed Moreland's like reintroduction to Spider-Man. So there you go. I think if I wasn't reading the Spider-Man series, I probably wouldn't really give into FOMO. I'd probably sell the book because it's on my subscription. But yeah, I mean, I bought 4, I sold 3, I kept 2.
Yeah.
So actually I bought 5. I just let them go for $1, for 3 copies, and I sold them for like $120. And
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything like, do I feel kind of weird doing that? No, because I let the market kind of decide. I mean, like, it's like anyone that bought GameStop at $40 and sold it like 500, you just let the market decide on what it's doing. There wasn't really anything illegal. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, because I think by the time I decided to I was like, okay, maybe I'll pick up 1 or 2. It's like they had already kind of gone up to like $15-20, and I was like, oh, okay, no, I'm good. Like, I don't want it that bad.
Yeah. And yeah, FOMO is a tough thing to to release to. Like I get FOMO in all sorts of situations, like parties and all that, or like, I mean, that's literally where FOMO came from, is like fear of missing out on like a party or something. But and with comic books, I don't really like when announcements came out. I kind of get that feeling, oh, maybe I should buy this or whatever. Yeah, and that's a good kind of philosophy to have as well. But yeah, I try not to, like, when I hear FOMO, like, I kind of think, okay, like, have I read that story? Am I into it? And if I'm not, I probably don't have enough, like, I really don't have an idea of how that FOMO or that particular property works and all that. So I don't buy into it. And that's kind of been my rule lately. Whereas probably in 2022, 2021, I'm just being honest, like, I would definitely feed into it. Like, if a trailer came out, I would go to the comic book store down the street and just like try searching for it, flip it. I'd still read it just to kind of like do that research part, because I like to know why that Marvel would, Marvel DC would pick that character to put on the big screen, because it's a lot of money. But I don't really give into as much, just because it's ridiculous. It's a waste of money. And so I hope this video kind of helps people determine, like, oh, like, those are probably key books to be either on the lookout for, and a lot of them are pretty obvious, or to maybe not give into, or maybe give into that one for whatever reason. So I hope you guys like the rest of this video, and we'll be doing a giveaway for a hot book on one of the top 10 lists that we do appreciate, Mr. Stein's and Brian's, and sometimes Richie's show, because Richie isn't on the show all the time, but I think he was on this past week. But Stein's show did Mark talk about one of these books this week. So,
well, and it's funny too, I noticed that, like, with them too, like how you're talking about the FOMO, I feel like the FOMO has kind of shifted, like, to where people more or less are like hit FOMO when it comes to a new character like Spider-Boy than they do about like a trailer dropping and finding the book that corresponds with it. Like, those kind of, they, like, I mean, with the announcement that they did, some books took off a little bit, but it's like they just a slight uptick compared to, like, say, a friggin' 500 plus return on investment on a $3 Spider-Boy book, or Spider-Man book. So it's like, it's just kind of, I see it trending more towards that a little bit more than people buying, like, having FOMO for the books correlating to
a trailer,
storylines and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wade says you two need to do a video about the top 10 books in your collections and why. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I'm down for that. That's cool.
Like, top 10 each or 5 a piece?
He probably means like 10 each.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's actually that'd be a fun idea. I try not to make this show too much about, like, me. Jason, I don't know. He's pretty pompous, so I think yeah, see? He's like the Denmark. He's like that guy in the show. And Taylor, what's going on? So the first show, so I'm kind of going from, like, my least favorite to favorite kind of announcements, trailers, what have you. And picking out particular, I kind of did a weird range of, like, key books, quote unquote, for these individual movies or properties, trailers, what have you. And so the first movie, I'm not like mad about it. I didn't see the first Miss Marvel, so I'm not like a fan by, organically. I like Kamala Khan as a character. She's like a funny, you know, character in the MCU to me. I think she's a really good actress, honestly, but I'm not really like into her so much. And I think it's tough when you're thinking about investing in like a character, right? Like you have to have some type of, I don't know, they have to really like resonate with you. And then they have to resonate with other characters or other collectors as well. So Miss Marvel, there's a lots of spec in this series, and I feel like they're B and C, D level characters. I even think Miss Marvel, and this isn't like anything to say just because it's Brie Larson. Like I've never like dug her or wanted to be like, oh, I can't wait for the next Miss Marvel series to come out. What about you, man?
Hmm?
What about you?
Oh, for the next season?
Are you awake? Are you paying dude, like
No, I
hello?
like you literally asked me a question. I was like, because I hadn't read the chat in a while, so I was like looking through those, and and then you were like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, are you talking about the series?
Just like Miss Marvel in general. I mean, do you dig her as a character? Like, you know?
Yeah. Well, so I did see the Miss Marvel movie.
Oh, okay.
And it was, I mean, it was okay. Like it was kind of it was just it was an okay movie for me. Like I didn't hate it. I didn't like, it wasn't over the top. Yeah. But I did dig the Miss Marvel show.
Oh yeah, me too. Definitely
Yeah.
liked it. Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like it. I don't know why. Just whatever. They're like, I just remember people like hating on it because they changed her powers, and it's like, well, I'm like, you are gonna have Mr. Fantastic. Like, I can see where they want to like deviate from like too stretchy people. Like,
yeah, and I think it's hard to do. It would be kind of hard. Like, I thought they did a good job with her powers, and I think it would have been. People were talking about like how hard it was. Be kind of hard to do like a stretchy thing, like that whole power with her. I don't know like the art, like the actual like technology behind doing like green screen or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I think for me, Kamala Khan for me is like, oh, she has pretty cool covers. Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, what do you want to call it? She has like an old school storyline that always harkens back for me with X-Men and Rogue. That's the only reason I get excited about Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's character.
mhm.
The other, what I think is kind of crazy to me, and this is when I remember when people got excited about Monica Rambeau back in the day, which was like a year and a half ago, I was like, I've never even heard of her before. And I'm not like the biggest expert when it comes to like comic books, but like I would definitely say, dude, I agree with that too. I liked Agents of Shield. I'm actually watching that now on the rewind.
I watched the first when it was airing on TV. I
Yeah.
was watching it, and then I just kind of fell out of it for whatever reason. I think it was like right around the time that she started getting her powers as Quake, but I don't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I think she was just finding out that there was like something special about her. She just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, no, but yeah, basically what Ultra was saying, like, yeah, I think I'll go into that later, but because he just made me think of something too with DC stuff. I'm kind of liking watching the older like 2012, 2013 shows like on cable versus like what they're putting out now. I think there's a lot more pressure on them. So like I can kind of sit back like The Flash. I've been watching that with my fiance and she really likes it. And I never really was into Flash, but now I want to scoop up like old school, like just key issues and like, I don't know. That's kind of where my head's at, but back to kind of like the slides here, going off topic. So that Captain Marvel second print, and there's a lot of hubbub about what's your first appearance, cameo, yada yada. I think we can agree. Like, if you're trying to get Kamala Khan, like this is like one of those top covers you have to get. It was going for like $6,000 back during the pandemic, and that's the second print, by the way. Everyone knows. Yeah, MCU fatigue is kind of, they put out a lot of shows. I couldn't even be asked to watch their, oh wow, I wasn't that bad, but yeah. What's up, Manuel? I'll see you guys soon. But yeah, that second print, like it's dropped down to like $1,000. I mean, personally, like I'm not saying like don't buy it $1,000. I really don't know if it's gonna go up from $1,000. I mean, I know she's pretty young in age, and so there's probably potential for her to stay around for a long time, but that's a lot of money to put into a modern book. I'd rather buy like a Blade first appearance than a Captain Marvel second print. And then the Amazing Spider-Man issue there with the first appearance of Monica Rambeau, like I don't even want to touch it. Like I think she has potential for not even being in the MCU past this movie.
Do you know what sub character that they actually went with for her?
For who?
Yet, Monica.
Do you?
No. Well, I thought they were going with Photon.
Yeah. See, and there's a lot of confusion with her.
Was it Photon or what was it? Spectrum?
Yeah, I don't know. You paid $75 for that second print. Nice, dude. Did you get a 9.8? The comics market has developed into speculators chasing speculators driven by FOMO. Yep. The average person isn't chasing any books and just enjoying the movies for entertainment. Sure. Yeah. And I think like out of these three, like if I was thinking like 10 years down the road, and I'm not saying buy this book, I'd probably go with the second print Captain Marvel just because like a kid that's 16 that loves Captain Marvel is going to be 26 in 10 years. And they may be working for some tech company, and who knows? Like they have some money, they want to buy like their first appearance or that particular first appearance Captain Marvel or grade, whatever you want to call it. And those other two books are no one's going to really care about, in my opinion. But what do you think, man, of these three?
I mean, just for me, I dig the Spider-Man cover, but that's just because I like the older artwork a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me purely buying it on looks alone. That's not like whether it's like long term for me or anything like that.
Yeah,
I just really like that cover. But yeah, like you said, I'd probably go with the second print if I was looking for something specking down the road.
Yeah. And it's like, but even with that said, like I still wouldn't buy it personally. My head's kind of somewhere else, and we could talk about that on another show, I think, sometime. So yeah, High Republic. You had mentioned this, or you kind of mentioned like this is like Star Wars we should talk about, and I don't know if High Republic, kind of my notes here, is like the most obvious investment in the past like 10 years, or is it just an overprinted marketing scheme? You're taking a lot of devoted fans, and you really have to get it right, I believe, with this whole High Republic world that they're trying to do. I highlighted Star Wars High Republic number, I think that's 5 or 4. Someone help me in the Monica First is hard and high grade because it was from Bronze. Yeah, for sure. I just don't like that. I personally don't really like the book, but yeah. And then you have the Star Wars High Republic. Those are the variants, the homage to Clone Wars, one of your picks. And then Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi number 0. That's like the third print. I apologize, everybody. I did these slides this morning. They print flat out to Dollar Tree for High Republic. Yeah. And so that's where I was like, and James, kind of what I was would mean to say is, so supply and demand, right? It doesn't matter how many are printed or like how many items are made. As long as the demand is like here and supply is here, there's always going to be a market in between that, right? So I bought 10 copies of Star Wars High Republic number 1 for like $2 a piece, like a long time ago. I got a few of them graded, and like, I'm just letting them sit. They could be $9.8 in like 3 years or whatever if the whole series bombs.
Yeah.
But if enough people and kids and other people just gravitate towards High Republic, that huge supply could be demand here. So it's kind of like, I think it's still too early to like invest and put good money into High Republic properties. But for me, Dark Horse has been considered canon by Marvel, right? When Marvel took over. I think this Dawn of the Jedi, that particular print in 9.8, I would not mind paying 150 to $200 because it's if they're going to use a little bit of that lore that represents, the origin of like the Force, basically, right? So I'd rather have that book than those other two. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that one's going to be probably, well, it depends. So like he's saying here, did Disney announce anything? I don't think they have I know they announced the Acolyte or Acolytes, I think it's called, which I think it takes place 1,000 years prior to the Clone Wars, I want to say, which
Something
may
like that,
put it
yeah.
in the realm of High Republic. But it's like you kind of feel like this is where they have to be going. I mean, if they're basically backtracking to the beginning at this point, like so somewhere down the road we will get to see the basically like from the Dawn of the Jedi, the emergence of the Force and what that entailed. So like that's probably what I would look at as far as this, because like you said, I don't know how far back they're going, but I haven't heard anything specifically for High Republic. But that's just me personally haven't heard it.
Yeah, and I'm being very cautious with this High Republic spec because, and this is the exact same reason, there are so many first appearances, like it's so hard to keep up with every Star Wars book. And I'm not talking just High Republic, I'm talking like that Vision one, there's the dude that looks like Hellboy, the Blade. So there's like so many different areas you go through where I feel like with the older like Dark Horse books, you can kind of segment, okay, like oh shoot, well, like Dawn of the Jedi, right? That's like the beginning part, so like the foundation of said universe or whatever. And then like, oh my gosh, first appearance of Darth Bane. Oh my god, what is that? First appearance of Darth Bane. I love that book. I have it somewhere.
Oh, Jedi versus Sith.
Yeah, Jedi versus Sith. I personally think is like one of the best stories to read. Just trade paperback it, read online. Don't pay like huge prices for it. But honestly, man, I cannot get enough of that series. I couldn't put it down. But it's basically the first the first Dark Jedi to come up with the concept of two. Important lore, So I think the Dark Horse books they're a little bit better written in my opinion, whereas like the High Republic books are introducing new characters from like back in the day, so they can kind of start their own kind of universe and kind of start from scratch, quote unquote. But I just think they probably were overprinted. They're gonna really have to hit it with this Star Wars High Republic to get people to really want the first the first books of this series. And then if you're gonna buy one of these books, I just like the Star Wars High Republic. This cover right here, it's just pretty cool. But I like this one out of the three. So anyway, the Jedi first appearance 25 years before New Hope. Okay, cool. Wade is like our resident Star Wars like dude. So if you ever have questions, ask Wade about Star Wars.
Well, and with Star Wars too, when people like talk about it, I just tell people just buy the characters that you like, the ones that you enjoy following and stuff like that, because it's just like there's your group of like heavy hitters as far as like spec, but I mean it's your like typical characters like first Vader, first Darth Maul, like first Luke, Leia, Boba Fett, like all that stuff. Like those are all big ones, but it's like once you get into kind of these books where everything, like he was saying, everything's a first appearance and like this person and that person, is just like it gets exhausting sometimes because it's just like any new Jedi, they're like, this is gonna be it, man. This person's so good, and it's like, well, what? I was like, they're all the same.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like I've read these new characters here and there, but like they say, oh, this is the new like Jedi, and he's like, it seems like the same stupid like formula. Oh, this Jedi lost his way, now he's like gone. It's like there's so many like lost Jedis out there. And the Dark Horse series or comics did a really good job at kind of highlighting those particular Jedis that kind of got lost. And it made more sense. It made sense because, Order 66, I mean, got rid of all the Jedis. And so there's going to be sparse ones out there. But that story is so boring to me now. So if there's like a new like Rogue or Ronin type like Jedi, I'm like, pass, dude. Like, and don't even try and Like, don't even try and pitch that to me as like a cool idea. Give me a Jedi that, and they haven't done this enough, that gets so close to the dark side and either goes that way or comes back. And the art, dude, and Dark Horse Jedi is awesome too. So I dig it way more. Next up, which is probably one of the, I probably should put this one last because honestly, I am stoked for the new Ahsoka series. I think I spelled Ahsoka wrong. Sorry, guys. But because of the emergence of Thrawn, I mean, I think Red Hood, you're probably not watching the show, but back in my old school Whatnot days, I bought a Thrawn 1 from Red Hood with the idea of holding on to it for a long time because I dug the character. It was a Thrawn 1, the animation variant, like 1 in 10.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, the Matina, like, you know, this book, it was going for like $4,000 to like $5,000 during the pandemic. And I always was wondering, I always like would try and watch this and see if this would drop down in price. But I think people either really bought it like really high levels or just like, this book is way too sick to like let go of unless I got like $3,000 for it. I haven't seen any recent sales for that Matina book, but that's like my favorite like Thrawn Marvel cover comic, whatever you want to call it. And you know, Wade will say this, but Thrawn's like the baddie of baddies, you know, in Star Wars lore. If you watched, you know, any of the cartoons, like, you know about him, you know, kind of the history with him, a really dark character. The Marvel Thrawn series is pretty cool, and the books. I remember reading the books in like the late '90s, the Timothy Zahn books, and I really dug them. I really dug him as a character back then. But aside from Ahsoka, which we'll talk about a little bit later, I highlighted these 3 books as it's tough to really invest in Thrawn, honestly, unless you're buying Thrawn. Do you have any Thrawn books, or have had any interest in any other books?
I don't own any Thrawn books. I would like to, just because I do like the character. And I actually dig that the one on the right there, the dark cover. But yeah, I don't own any myself. Like, It's just at this point, it's they didn't even like. All they did was like talk about him a little bit and like show him from behind, and like, and the books just like skyrocketed. And I was like, I'm out for now.
Dude, I kind of dug that, honestly, that they just showed like a tiny preview of him, because I think I kind of look back at like my reintroduction to specking and getting back into comics in like 2016, 2017. And I remember seeing Thrawn 1 like on a shelf, and I remembered him, but I didn't really recognize, like, I was just kind of going through really quick. And then when I was watching The Mandalorian season 2, I want to say, season 2, it was like I was in my little apartment over in Capitol Hill in Seattle, and the second that Ahsoka came out, I was pretty excited about it. But when she said, "Where is Thrawn?" I was like so stoked for Thrawn to come. And kudos to the writers for that particular show, for just mentioning him and like almost just getting that like excitement to really build for a particular character that's going to be major. So it's like basically like, okay, Ahsoka's appeared. That's awesome. Let's throw something in to really like freak everybody out. And she announces Thrawn, essentially. Filoni, yeah, for sure. I just thought that was a genius writing, especially for comic fans, Star Wars fans, which are worse than comic fans, honestly, because they don't let go of shit. And Rebels, honestly, was probably, for me, that was the best cartoon show of the Star Wars cartoon shows. That was my favorite by far. Yeah, man. What did you were into Mandalorian a little bit more than I was, I think. How was your reaction when she said Thrawn, or where's Thrawn? Your master, Thrawn, whatever.
I was pretty stoked. I was just, it was kind of a curveball for me because I wasn't expecting it at all.
Right. Yeah.
especially with like just how far they've gone through. Like it was just, I was like stoked that like Ahsoka had shown up, and I was like, oh, whoa, like I was not expecting that at all.
Exactly. When she said it, I'm like, what the, you know?
Yeah, and so I thought that was really cool. But now it's just like, what, 3 years, 4 years later, and I'm just like, I just want to see him, please. So I'm hoping that, like, I'm hoping maybe, not to spoil anything for people who haven't seen the newest episode or season of Mandalorian at all. I'm hoping that maybe he shows up in it as a bridger to Ahsoka, but I doubt it.
Yeah, and man, like honestly, like I even though like, you know, it's 3 years later, or like so many years like after the fact, I like how like Thanos didn't show up until like when? Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
So
but he first popped in like what, the end credits of Guardians 1 or something like that, I think.
Yeah, so I like that. I like establishing kind of like, because I think it helps the studios too. Like, okay, if we can either not introduce this character or introduce the character, right? So it's like they can get fan reaction, right? Of like of a character being mentioned. And like you can kind of, I mean, it's so easy nowadays with Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Like people can say like, that's dumb. Don't. Oh, you showed up in Avengers 1. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
cool. Yeah. I can't remember, so long ago, right? I like how they did that because it, again, I'm being dead horse, but it gives enough feedback to the studios to say you need to roll this character or you need to bury it, you know, versus like, and I haven't seen it yet, but like I've heard really bad reviews about Kane, you know, and I never was a Kane like fan as a villain. But that's really what makes movies. It's the villain or properties. It's like, okay, awesome hero. Who's he fighting? Or who are they fighting? You know, if they're not fighting someone cool, it just kind of takes, it's just one-sided. And you need that kind of level of, you know, darkness or whatever. So anyway, you're all about darkness. I know.
While you start the next slide, I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I've been like moving back and forth in my chair. I was just like,
dude, you don't have a Gatorade bottle like I do?
No.
Okay. While you're gone,
let me force it over there.
Wait. While you're gone, I'm gonna play another clip of. I'm just kidding.
Come back and it's all shut down again.
I know. I'm just kidding.
You're like, what happened to everybody? All
right, go for it. Why we wait for Jason? He didn't really have anything to say about Blue Beetle, but Blue Beetle came out. I feel like people were like either really stoked about it or just kind of like, oh, that's cool. Here's the thing, in my opinion, about Blue Beetle is that there's two different ones, and they're specifically, you know, trying to get with the Jaime Reyes character. I think if you're a fan of the actor, I forgot his name, but if you're a fan of the actor, you're going to like this show. If you're a fan of Blue Beetle, this probably isn't the one that you're wanting to read unless you're like 10 or 15 years younger than me. So you're like mid-20s or like even like your late teens. I just think, but I think it's a good quote unquote investment if you can get like a Infinite Crisis #1 for like $1.25, $150. Just gotta have meat on that bone, right? I saw FOMO not so much in the Infinite Crisis book, but I talked about this on Thursday. That Blue Beetle second print, which I bought for like $4. I sold 9.8 for like 200. I was doing pretty good on that book. So I think it could be one of these things, right? It's a little risky because the actor's great, but we don't know how the reception of the character is going to be. It's a DC property, right? There's not a lot of foundation with this character so much, so it's really going to have to hit with a new generation of fans. So it's a little risky if you are paying like $150 to like $200 for a 9.8. But the Infinite Crisis, I wouldn't be too upset with buying one at $150 and kind of rolling the dice. However, in my opinion, that Blue Beetle #1 and the second or third prints is a better buy for kind of a low cost buy-in and hoping for a good grade. So, okay. Kept people guessing if it was good or a bad thing to stop at the end of the film. Okay. The feedback that I got from people like the comic market was like they hated him. And I don't know if it's because of interpretation of him or whatever, but I guess I just want a darker villain. Kane doesn't really seem like as dark a villain to me, but
which is weird too because that was the Conqueror Kang that they encountered. Like he was like very villainous.
Yeah,
in the comics.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so I just talked about Blue Beetle. What do you think about Blue Beetle, man? Are you stoked for it?
I thought the trailer looked great. Like I'm excited to see it. It freaking got George Lopez in it, which is always good for a film. I think that if the movie's done well, it can do for DC kind of what Shang-Chi did for Marvel in their sense. Like I think it'll kind of unlock a new market. I think now there's going to be not that there hasn't been Hispanic characters in the past, but like there's going to be a whole new market of kids that are going to see this and that are going to identify with this character. And if it's done well, this is a character that can last for a good long while within the DC universe too. And obviously James Gunn, having let the movie continue to go and saying that it's part of the DC universe, he sees something in it and is probably going to be using the character going forward.
Yeah. And real quick, just a service announcement. If you guys could all do this, it'd be great. But don't do the other video because we got kicked off that one. So, no, man.
Must that be our highest like watched video of all time?
There was 28 views on it, dude, after 15 minutes. We got 17 live though, man. We were up to 20. So thanks again, everyone, for stopping in on a Sunday. It looks like this time slot's good. I mean, I got feedback from last Sunday that, you know, it was a good time, but they wanted the morning show. So let us know if you guys want us to change the time or keep it here. We're pretty flexible, but we want to stay consistent. We want to do the show on Sundays. It just works out better for both of us.
Yeah, my work schedule sucks.
It's all good, man. I think people like the Sunday show, and I think they like our banter, even though you're a complete jackass. Oh, you heard. Oh shit, I'm live. Anyway, morning is good. Okay, morning is good. Okay, thank you, Wade. I appreciate that. So I think the biggest, like, to get people to watch the show, I was kind of alluding to earlier, is I think the fans from Karate Kid are going to bring more people over because of, like, I mean, he's kind of a pretty boy, right? You know, like I could imagine, like, you know, people having his poster in their wall from Karate Kid and be like, oh shoot, I'm going to follow this. Like, because back in the day, like Ralph Macchio was like my hero. And so any Ralph Macchio, like I watched Cousin Vinny for God's sakes because I was a Ralph Macchio fan.
That was a good movie though.
It was a great movie, but I was like 9. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what was going on, but it was Ralph Macchio was in it. But I think that'll help too with this actor and all that. Because Pony Boy 2.0. Wait,
yeah, stay golden.
Remember
that The Outsiders?
Yeah, he was in The Outsiders, but he wasn't Pony Boy. He was other guy. I can imagine the Hispanic community would go crazy for this if it's good. Yeah, I think the George Lopez casting was like a good idea, because it's not he's such an easy like person to get into. Like if you want culture, like Hispanic culture, he's like a mainstay, just like Manny Pacquiao is for Filipinos. Anyway, Spider-Verse trailer. So this is like, I don't want to hit this ad nauseum, but I think we want to include it because it just came out a couple weeks ago.
Wait, that's your favorite cover of all time, isn't it? You love that Spider-Verse.
I love that Spider-Verse. Woo! So I want to highlight this because it's probably the safest investment of all properties, right? Like, even if it's a high buy-in, it's probably going to stay where it's going to be at. So it might be a wall like cover book. I know the Ultimate Fallout 4 was found in Five Below packs. I don't know what the hell Five Below is, but must be a great place to buy comic books. The supply is huge. It's just like ASM 300. It's a market manipulated book. I understand that as well. But there's no denying that no one's going to sell this book raw in near mint for under like $500 in this market. So definitely the demand is there. It's Spider-Man. It's the unoriginal character, but he is what Michael Jordan is to me, Jason, that Steph Curry is to my nephew. Do you know what I mean? So like, even though there's been a great one before, like every generation has their one that they follow. And it just seems consistent to me. All the kids I talk to, 18, 20 and under, like this is their Spider-Man. They kind of know Peter Parker. And I don't think that's because Peter Parker's a bad character. It's just that Peter Parker isn't very well written. It's not well written enough to like kids that are reading comic books. He's not in video games like Miles is. He doesn't have a cartoon surrounded by him. So obviously Ultimate Fallout number 4 is the book to get if you are a Miles fan or just want to have like that Steph Curry rookie card, right? Is he overrated? I would say, yeah, I kind of agree with you, Maxon.
I feel like that's kind of what is going to happen with a character like Spider-Man when you try to replace him. People are just going to always say like it's just Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
It's like there's not really many of them that come out that have, their stories are basically the same. Like they get their powers the same. It's just kind of like they don't really change the base of the character all that often. They just kind of give you a fresh version of it here and there when the old one needs to retire.
Here's my complaint about Spider-Man and probably Spider-Boy too, is that you had an opportunity to make like a marquee character for Marvel, right? That isn't white. Just say it, okay? But you based it off a previously already like successful origin, like you said, powers, all that. So the only thing that's really changed is his upbringing and the way he looks, right? Mm-hmm. You had a major opportunity to make a marquee character and you didn't. That's my only complaint about Miles Morales as Spider-Man. As far as him being introduced into the MCU, that's the one pro I think is cool. I'm really interested to see how he is going to make it from animation to the real life. That's the only thing I'm excited about with Miles. How are they going to do that? Are they going to make him like cross over into the MCU from like the Spider-Verse?
Maybe he'll multiverse his way out of cartoon into reality.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, and I'm excited for that. And you know, I'm excited to see how he melds into the universe and all that.
My thing is if they do that though, I want them to keep that shit under wraps. I don't want to know the actor who's playing Miles Morales.
I don't want to know a damn
thing. Surprise when he steps through.
Yeah. I don't even want like an end scene in Spider-Verse showing him going into like reality. I don't even want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like the other question is too is like, okay, well, if UF4 is a pretty tough book to get. Do you get Edge of Spider-Verse number 2?
I'd like that cover a lot. It's like, for me, it's like I would get. It's just so expensive. Like, but I would get it just because I do dig the cover. Is it Campbell? Huh?
Greg Land.
Oh, Greg Land. Okay.
Yeah.
But I dig the cover a lot. It's just I don't know if I would pay that kind of money for that book. I could get something else.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Like I like the older books. So for me, the money that is spent there, I could spend on something that I like.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth with like modern books versus like silver and bronze.
Because like this one's would be cool for me to own, and I dig the cover, but it's not like one that I would be like proud. Like it's not like one that I would go to my collection and be like, oh, check this out, look what I got. Like it's not like that for me. Yeah,
like Jizzy said, or Wade said, an Izzy or an Iron Man first appearance would be like way cooler to have like this, right? Yeah, I think it's always good to have like a good combination of modern like keys and like your favorite silver bronze age like favorite character, at least for us, right? Because we're in the middle, right? We're millennials, quote unquote, but like we're stuck in the middle between those timelines, right? But for one, I would say it's tough. Like the UF4 is going to be like that mainstay comic book that even though there's like a ton of them being, I would say it's up to you. And in this, I couldn't say one way or the other. I have a 9/6 Ultimate Fallout 4 signed. I don't have Edge of the Spider-Verse #2, and I would actually pass on that personally, just because I think there's not enough meat on the bone. And I would definitely freaking pass on Spider-Verse #6. If anyone buys that book because of all the multiple Spider-Verse, like, stop collecting comic books. Start reading and stop collecting comic books.
Well,
okay.
There goes your wedding present, because I got you like 100 copies of that.
Okay, moving the fuck on to the next slide. Just kidding. And yeah, and that's the book you got lucky and bought 10 copies when it came out for sure. And that's so when that book came out, I remember how much I thought that was such a lame ass freaking character to like redo. And like now I've kind of grown to him because I played a video game and it's pretty cool and stuff. I still think it's just you had an opportunity to do a static and you didn't, and that's what makes me upset about it. I'd rather have static. I've said this many times. I'm picking up static issues because I think that's a cooler character than Miles Morales. That's just me. So, do you watch the HBO Titan show?
So no, not Titans. I was on Doom Patrol.
Oh, okay.
I started Doom Patrol. I got through like the first season of that, and I just, for whatever reason, hadn't gotten back to it. I probably got distracted by the freaking
Pornhub.
Yep, all the time. Hours and hours, baby.
Oh, okay. Good Kashi. Good to see you, man. Dude. Kudos, shout out to the chat. You guys are like actually participating. I love it. And call us out, especially Jason, because he's watching some weird stuff lately. Just kidding. I'm shocked that you don't watch the show because it's DC and it's dark and it's kind of badass, honestly.
Well, it's not that I don't want to. It's just I have, like, for whatever reason, like I forget half the time that HBO has the DC stuff. It's because I'm never on my HBO anymore.
I see.
Like, there's not really shows that I watch regularly on there, so I'd have to be like into one. And like right now, half of the stuff I'm watching is either Apple TV or Netflix. I just got done watching The Night Agent on there, and Paramount Plus. Like, I'm watching that Rabbit Hole show.
Ultra, I'm curious why you fell off after season 3. Just out of curiosity.
What?
Oh, Ultra said he fell off after season 3. I was just curious. I really like this show. I've been watching it like kind of on the side as I like work or wait for other YouTube shows to go live, aka Ultra's FOC report. I really like Nightwing was like my favorite like DC character, and Jason Todd I've kind of come to a liking to, and his new Red Hood character and all that. But I was watching previews of this Brother Blood guy. I don't know that much about him. That makes me sound like really newbie-ish. Not newbie comics, but newbie-ish. Like I'm a newbie. The previews make him look super freaky and super dark, and that's what I love about this show. I wish there are dark tones. Oh, okay. A massive. It gets boring in parts. Okay, cool. I'm a massive Titans fan. Watched the first 3 of HBO show, left and never came back. Okay. Well, I haven't got that far, so I think season 2 still, but I don't know. I like the show. It's ending though, so it's kind of like I wouldn't say really invest in these comic books. This is more my personal, just like I think I've always just liked the characters and Titans kind of. No, it's all good. It's all good. I kind of know like what's going on anyway, so it's all good. When I was watching the show, Nightwing kind of got me back in. Like I was like, oh, I want to buy the old Nightwing stuff that I didn't have, like a newsstands and stuff. So I've been buying Nightwing, and I got like a, buy what you like kind of thing. So I got Jason Todd's like origin story there. I think it's the second or third appearance, but it's just kind of cool to like kind of use this show to like go back and read old stuff. And that Batman was like one of my first comic books I ever read as a kid. And I didn't really realize about Jason Todd. It was more about the crocodile dude in this book. But yeah. So since you don't watch the show, I'm not really gonna like put you on the spot. But that's why I
I mean,
kind
I
of
played a
highlighted this
game.
one.
I played the
Oh, the
Gotham
Titans
Knights game.
Okay, well there you go.
I've got a couple of Titans books, but I just kind of have like the keys. Like I've got the first Deathstroke, the Destroyer, and a newsstand.
Okay. What
And a couple
year?
other books.
What year? Ultra 2011 or the old school one? Just curious. Do you have this? Do you play this game, dude?
Yes, I did play Injustice.
Oh, I bought
Is that
it.
Gods Among Men?
Yeah, I bought it sealed because I thought it'd be a good investment for like 15 bucks.
It's fun. I mean, it's like
No,
Mortal Kombat and stuff
Okay.
like that, Street Fighter,
Okay,
that
cool,
kind of
cool.
fighting.
I'll look for that Ultra. See, you guys, if you guys aren't following Ultra, like, do it for love of God, for love of everything holy.
For the love of God.
And then we're ending this segment of the show with Jason's picks, and we're gonna start something a little new on the next one. So, take it away, Jason. He has no idea what to say. Oh my God.
No. So basically, like, this is just coming off of like the Star Wars stuff. This is just kind of the bigger books that people are specking on. As far as like Heir to the Empire, of course, that's the first appearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's going to be the first appearance of Mara Jade, which is Luke's wife eventually down the road. A couple other first appearances. The sales for it have gone up, like a 9.8, I think went up about 36% recently, like over the last, or at least like for sale the last week. I think one sold for just under 1,500 and a 9.8. 9.6s are going for about half of that. They're like like 550. I've never understood that. It's just like, well, I mean, it's just that part to me is so funny. It's just like one little grade difference. It's like the difference of like a tick or something like that. And you're talking like $1,000 difference in the book. Like, I get it, but at the same time, it's just kind of funny. So yeah. And so of course, like that one's the big one because of the mention of Thrawn and him coming into it. And like, I don't know. I know that they've adjusted the story a bit. Mm-hmm. Like they're, like, I know she says he's returned to like take his place as heir to the Empire in the trailer and all this and that. But I know that they've changed a bunch of it. I don't know what, obviously, because I haven't seen the show yet, but we'll see going forward. But also with that, then Kanan books took off a little bit more. So it's like weird. So like Kanan is one of those series that people fight over the first appearances again.
Yeah, I know.
Where it's like, because it's like CGC says that Kanan 1 is the first appearances of Sabine Wren and Ezra Bridger and Hera and freaking Kanan and all that. But then like everybody else says that their actual first appearances are on 6. And obviously they're on the cover of it. And that's the one actually that spiked in price. Like I think 9.8s for Kanan 1s, the just main cover, have been going for like 100 or like 225-ish. I think I've seen them like that. Yeah, for the number 1 cover A's, while the 6s have gone up like 27% for like a 9.8. They're at about 550 or so.
Yeah,
9.6s are 217-ish. So that's kind of the one that like went up in price with that announcement. And it's like, I'm excited to see what the character, like, I remember the trailer. A lot of people were just like, what's up with Sabine's hair, man? It's so long. It's like, well, how many years do you think it's been since Rebels? Like, it wasn't yesterday. So there's like a large time gap and stuff like that. It's just, people are funny. They get picky about the weirdest stuff, but and then of course, Clone Wars number 1 is going to be your first Ahsoka appearance. And that one it went up a little bit, but it's still kind of just like maintaining. You can get like, I mean, you can get a hardcover of this for like $150 to $200 on eBay. But the Filoni variant is the one that most people look for. And that thing, like, there's not a lot of those things getting sold recently or just in general. But I've seen listings for that thing in a 9.8 go for, and they have them listed anywhere from 6,800 all the way up to like almost 19 grand. So just,
are you serious?
Yeah, I saw one. The highest I saw was somebody had one listed for $18,666. I don't know if they were just joking because of that price, but
that's the purple one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The purple one where they're on the speed rate or the speeders.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. I like the art on that cover because it looks very close to like the Clone Wars and whatnot.
Yeah, like for me, that's the cover that I would want, but it's not for the price and all that. Like I just like the cover.
Yeah, and I don't know in the chat you guys know, but it's like 1,000 copies or something. Like it's really low print run.
Yeah, like it's hard to find any that have been like sold.
Yeah, and I know that the chat was kind of and you allude to this too, Jason. So the market definitely says 6 is the first appearance. I mean, I'm not going to argue against it. However, I think if I had the choice between that number 6 and the variant, the black, like that black cover with Kanan on the cover of number 1, I'd get that book all day. I feel like it's underpriced and underappreciated. Even in a 9.4, I'd buy it for whatever it's listed at. I personally don't have any of these books anymore. I feel like I should have kept my Star Wars Heir to the Empire 9.4. I flipped it. I just wanted the money. And don't forget the Archie Comic 601. Actually I'd kind of throw a curveball at everybody here. I would actually be on the search for Star Wars 48. Oh shit, I think I have that wrong. Boba Fett first appearance. I'd kind of swerve that way because he's always going to have a presence, even though the show sucked. There's going to be season 2, so he could have his Jared Kelenic 2023 season and hit 4 home runs in a row and bat 346, 352 or whatever, and be in the run for the MVP for 2023.
1 month into it. MVP, baby.
I'm just kidding. I meant to change that, man. I'm sorry, but yeah, you're fired. So Jason, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna show 2 things, and I'm gonna say buy or sell, or basically, yeah. Which one would you rather buy, or which one would you buy? Basically, is what I meant to say. So these 2 books are when we're talking about cameos, which is what I think is interesting. So number 2, there's a cameo in this one, and number 5 there is a first appearance full. It's High Republic. They should go for cover price. Which one would you rather buy, the cameo or the first quote unquote full appearance of Vashovna? I forgot her name. Sorry.
I actually have both of these, I think.
Nobody cares. Just kidding.
They're just raw though. I haven't done anything with them.
Oh,
I mean, I would probably go with you said that the one on the right is number 5. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I'd probably go with that one only because I dig the cover a little bit more. I like the colors.
I'm 100% there with you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Here's the next one. Which one would you rather buy? Jordan or Ahsoka? That's basically what I'm asking here in this one. And chat, you guys can chime in too. I'm just curious.
Oh, Dark Side. I got that Jimmy Olsen 135.
Oh, cool.
In like an 8.0 white pages actually. But I think they call that a cameo. For whatever reason. I think it says that on my slab. I was like, cameo. I'm like,
Daniel says he says Ahsoka.
I'd probably go Jordan, but that's nostalgia for me.
Yeah, man, that's all good. There's no wrong answer, and I think people want to know. They're curious of what you think.
Well, and I'm still kind of getting into the Ahsoka character because I'm one of the people that like it took me a long time to get into the cartoons at all. Like for whatever reason, I just thought that they were for kids. Well, because they were on like Disney, like the kids Disney Channel. It was like the weird station, and I just like didn't pay attention to it because I was like, it's just for kids and blah blah blah. So it's like I'm still dabbling into those. Like I haven't watched The Bad Batch. I haven't seen any of Rebels. So just all the stuff I know about those characters is just from reading.
Right. Sports card market.
Oh, Tiger Woods, easy.
Yeah, me too. Dude, for 127 like bucks. 127 bucks, you kidding me? 9.5? Jesus.
Plus, is that from the Masters? Is that where he's at?
Yeah, it's 2001. So like he just kind of like everyone's starting to like freak out at Tiger.
Well, yeah, and he hasn't even retired yet. I would buy that all day for that price.
Yeah. We were talking about that on the show on Thursday, or just like Tiger in general, right?
Yes. Ooh. Do I want the neon sign or do I want fucking Barrett?
There's only one right answer in this one.
What, the neon sign?
Yeah.
Depends though.
For $24?
$24 for a neon sign, that thing might like be hazardous to your health.
You don't have to have it in your room, like above your like head, with your mirror and shit. You sick bastard. Anyway,
maybe that's where I want it.
Oh my god. And then these two. These are kind of like new kids type stuff, but I just kind of wanted. You're a gamer, so. And yeah, Daniel.
Oh, I'm going Jedi Survivor. I'm waiting for that game to come out.
Dude, that's freaking badass.
I still haven't played Harry Potter yet, only because I'm just waiting for it to dip in price. It's like $80 just for the basic game. I'm like,
I'll wait
till it goes on. Yeah, I'm like, I'll wait till it goes on sale.
Can you buy it digital?
Yeah. Well, basically all the games I play, I just do them straight from the system. I don't ever buy hard copies anymore.
So you're saying that Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy is $80 digital?
I believe so, just for the game.
Holy
yeah.
Cow, that's crazy.
I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw it at.
Dude, the chat knows what's up. It's all about Jedi.
Yeah, that game's gonna be fun.
Okay, cool. We're gonna do a giveaway. I'm giving away this Marvel Voices. It's not the 1 in 50, but it is the variant that everybody's on the lookout for. Right. So if you guys want to be entered into the, where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going?
I gotta let the freaking cat in real quick. She's jumping at the door.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Tell her we're doing a show. If you guys want in on the wheel, just say infinity for me. Or just say, type in the chat infinity. Infinite. Come on, kitty. Commander Cody, I'll put you in there. You name off the peeps.
What's up, bitch?
Jason.
What?
You name off the people.
What are they typing? Infinity?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. So you got Gallon.
Okay.
Maxin. Commander Cody.
I
don't want to butcher the name. Is it Shasail?
Yeah.
That's how it's pronounced? Okay.
I mean who it is, but yeah.
Daniel Aslan.
Huh?
Daniel Aslan.
Yeah.
Holy crap, it keeps moving on me. Maxon's in there. The Dragon's Den.
Renee. Okay.
Good Kaji.
Good Kaji.
Guy McLeod.
Guy McLeod.
Jizzy.
Okay.
John DeBerry.
Barry?
John DeBerry. D.
Oh, okay. I said John DeBerry, so that works.
Okay. Hated
what?
Kerouag.
Okay.
Kerouag.
Okay.
Brian LCS.
Oh, cool. What's up, Brian?
I believe that's everybody. If I miss somebody, yell at Ferdy.
Did the video freeze? I don't think so. No, did we freeze? I don't know.
The album wall? Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's see here.
Where did the cat go? Ivy.
Let me do this real quick. Okay, I'm gonna share this. I'll give you guys about 20 seconds to see if you're on the wheel. If not, I butchered a bunch of names, but we got 13 entries in today's giveaway. So thanks everyone for yeah, still good. Oh shit, was that your cat, dude? You step on it or something?
No.
Oh.
She was like freaking out.
Dude, Zorro and Gordy have like scars on their ear. Oh, hello, Kitty. Hold on. Do slow layout.
Huh?
Hello, Kitty.
She's like, oh no. She's like, I hate you. That's why I call you Poison Ivy sometimes.
Make her meow again. Dragons. He's on the list. Renee. So.
Yeah. Just
All right.
freaking out.
Okay, hold on. Let me remove you. Exit solo layout. Okay. Hi, Kitty. And yes, make sure I appreciate you, Brian. And you guys, follow Brian LCS. He has some awesome comic book shows as well. I catch him while I'm at work as well and try and get through all of his videos, about those hours viewed and all that stuff. We were actually, I don't know, Brian, if you were here earlier, but we got shut down because we were playing clips from old movies. But I really, really want to play one more clip, but I don't want to get my ass kicked. So, all right, everybody. So again, this is for that Marvel Voices Spider-Verse #1.
Did we get everybody?
Jane cover? Yeah, I think so. We got 13 entries in here.
Oh,
good luck.
Said they counted 16.
16 entries?
Yeah. I wonder if we missed somebody. Nobody said we missed anybody though.
Did anyone? I named people kind of different. So
okay.
Here we go. And again, thanks everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, watch all our videos so I can quit my job. Just kidding. Here you go. And I totally butchered that name, but good Kaji, I think is who it is.
Kaji. All one word, yeah.
Yeah. So if you, congratulations, first off. I'm gonna highlight my Instagram real quick because that's what I like to do sometimes. Hold on. I have a bunch of. I'll do this real quick. I don't hate doing this, but I have a bunch of
Swordmaster 1 laying around here that somebody won the 1 week that I nobody ever got in touch with me about it.
Oh, it's all good. So real quick, I'm just gonna share this, but I have a bunch of listings on eBay ending today, and like I got this Static Shadows of Dakota number 1/100 only going for $105 because it's a 9.6. I got that Spider-Man 2099 second print lot. The number 1 in 9.6 going for $41. It's ending today. So if you guys are looking for like some good deals on comic books, man, like look, I got $1.50 slabs. They're there. But yeah, if you are Kaji, just hit up my Instagram here. I'll put my Instagram. Hold on. Here's my Instagram here. Just I think you follow me on Instagram, but yeah, here's my profile. Just send me a DM and I'll get your address and all that good stuff. Here's Jason's too. Let's see, where's that? Where's Jason?
Wow. What do you want?
And I can't find you, Jason. Where are you?
Dead.
Okay, he died. Anyway, sorry. Okay, cool. It's Spider-Man's second print. So it's the blue. And it's only going for $40. I mean, that book goes for like 40 raw. And good looking at 9.6 or better because that has a tough freaking whatever. And good Kaji, yeah, hit me up, man. Oh, Max Sin won the Swordmaster #1. Max Sin, hit up Jason. Jason, do you want to share your Instagram page real quick? Go to present.
Sure. How do you do that?
Go to present on the bottom.
Present them. I don't have that on mine.
Mother trucker. Can't hold on.
I only have leave studio, invite, settings, stop cam, and mute.
Okay. I'm going to share Jason's profile real quick too. If you guys aren't following Jason, this is Jason. So Max Sin, hit up Jason on Pickles Nickels too. This is his Instagram profile. He's doing some really cool stuff with his tats on his body stuff. Why did I say that? That was weird.
Tats on my body. Nope. I get
Shut up. And
I get hair tattooed.
He likes to take pictures of his house. That's what he likes to do. I know. Sorry. He said, "I'm kidding. Ignore me." We're telling he'll show. I mean, would you send it to him? Media mail?
Yeah, I don't care.
Dude, hit him up, man. Just screw it. We're all about giving.
I've got multiple copies of them.
Should we? Okay, guys. Should we try one more YouTube video? Like, should we try it?
With a bang!
I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. Who cares? Okay, I'm gonna do it. What should I do, Jason?
Watch this be the show that they cancel and don't let anybody watch it. It's like the other one stays on there. This one they're like done.
Okay, correct. Okay, Hold on a second. Are people still on the stream? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. Wait, don't want to get permabanned. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding. I was gonna do that keep for your collection deal, but we're not gonna do it. Jason, any closing remarks for this Sunday show?
No.
Nothing.
I mean, I guess that's a closing word.
Yeah, that's good enough. Anyway, yeah, just thanks everybody for watching. Catch me on Thursdays on the yeah, Renee's like I just want to mess with people. I don't know. Catch us on OTR on the Rumble or on the Radar Collectibles. Here, I'll put a little link in the description below here. Let's see. This is what.
And go Kraken. Woo, playoffs.
Go Kraken playoffs. If you guys aren't watching, we're trying to do some cool stuff on the Radar Collectibles. Trying to do giveaways. I think there's a giveaway for comments in the on the Radar Collectibles show. And I do appreciate everyone joining us on a Sunday. We had 21 at one time, even after we got booted. So that was kind of cool.
Who knows? The sky was the limit back then, man. We were 18 before we got cut off. Who knows?
Dude, we would have had like 47 people at one time, right? No.
Unless it was just all the same people that came back.
What's funny is that like they kept it going. Like they kept it. It's on you can watch it. So it's not like they like totally like, deleted it. But yeah, they're
like, so if you want to see some reaction video.
Why do Kraken fans want to rival with Vancouver? VGK? What's VGK?
Vegas.
Oh, cool.
I think it's just because it's the closest team that's any good. Or actually, I think they're in the same division. We're not in the division with the Sharks or anything like that.
And yeah, if you guys could, I'd love for more people to come to the show. We'll do more giveaways if we get more people. Hit that like, subscribe button.
They just keep getting better.
Tell your friends all about it.
Max, I still have this sitting here that we can give away at some point.
Yeah, we'll probably wait to do that for a bigger show. We get more subscribers. We got 206, so we lost a couple, but I think we're doing pretty good so far, man. So
those sons of bitches.
I know. I do appreciate everybody coming through, though. I know Jason does, even though he doesn't say it, and he has cats. And,
I do have one. I do have one parting word, though.
What's that?
Now that I think about it, I don't even know why I just thought about this. If any of you ever get a chance to be around Fernando near a body of water, ask him to do a dive for you. It is going to be the greatest thing you ever seen in your life. Like, I wish they had camera phones back when I was in high school because it is awesome.
Okay. Anyway, that's the end of our show. You guys have a great Sunday. I appreciate you all. Have a great day. Thanks. Wait, hold on. I have to do our thing.
Boop, boop, boop. Oh, thing.